What was it like in the dressing room with the group of players, knowing that you'd done the 5 in a row?
Sorry, it's kind of hard to put that into words, Shane. The moment I'd think of wasn't really the dressing room. It was on the pitch, and the trophy had been presented, and we'd commiserated with the Kerry lads, and everyone found their family, and we'd gone down to the hill and done all that hullabaloo, and then you were just bumping into lads one by one, and I just remember looking at him like, this is surreal stuff, and you're trying to take it all in, and you just can't. It's absolute sensory overload. But in the dressing room, then it's a bizarre atmosphere. You might think that you walk in, everyone's going mental and happy out, but you're just shattered, and everyone's tired, but just so kind of deeply satisfied that I don't know. Everyone's kind of just sitting against the wall, looking around with a little smile on their face, and things slowly pick up. Then, look, I'm not doing it justice, but it's
You are doing it justice.
It's an incredible place to be, and I thank my lucky stars that I got to be there.
I think the look on your face and how you're trying to articulate it kind of says it all. Who were the people you ran into first, and even your family? What was that moment like?
That was great. So I actually would have picked out my family when we were meeting Michael D before the game, and so I knew I had a half idea where they were. And I always look for my father. My grandmother is a big supporter of mine who wouldn't be quite able to get down to the front where where you might hug her and see her. So there was a lot of waving up and the whole family drawing attention to her and all that. But then the beauty of it is you just don't really know who you're going to see, but everyone you see, like, it's either a coach from 15 years ago. I met Nipper McNally, who had been involved with us at the development squad since we were 13, and you just don't know who it's going to throw up. And then players wise, I think Niall Scully was one of the first people I met. I made a beeline for Michael Fitzsimons. I think he put in, as he always does, one of the absolute great performances. And then you've, like, Kieran Kilkenny, I think, played his best game. I played football with Kieran since we were 12, and I kind of write off under 21 and minor because he was a phenomenal at the time, but as an adult, I think that's the best performance I've ever seen him put in when we absolutely need him most. And it's these kind of small individual meetings where you just get to reflect and kind of impart how much you respect everybody and the kind of love you have for them that are really, that's what will stay with me, I hope.
And you know that kind of build-up you had all year. Everyone outside the camp is talking 5 in a row, and Philly McMahon was saying that he'd have fans just come up to him and roar 5 in a row at him, and he's like, I don't even know how to respond. So that whole build-up, and then the fact that there's another 2 weeks with the replay, did it feel like a hothouse environment?
Did it feel like a hothouse environment?
Well, I suppose that was not a great way to put it, but in terms of, like, okay, there's pressure. Oh, it's another 2 weeks pressure.
Well, I suppose two separate things to that then. Like, at the start of the year, Jim knows us all really well, and we're all intelligent men, and there's no point kind of skirting around and keeping the head down and pretending that this narrative isn't out there and that this isn't on the table. So at the start of the year, there would have been a healthy look. Can we acknowledge that what we could do this year is special and historic, and there's going to be a lot of talk of 5 in a row, and it's out there. Look, 5 in a row is the thing that we can do this year. Acknowledge it. It's there. Park it. And move on. And we get a lot of stick for kind of showing out the same old cliches to the press a lot, but it is actually a genuine reflection of how we operate. And then the replay, Jesus, the replay. Oh my God, it was like the best laid plans. You kind of legislate for everything, and then something like that pops up, and suddenly it's absolute scramble to swap annual leave and work, and to push back holidays, and to all these little things that you're more than happy to do, but they take a bit of doing. And I personally found the week after the final, the first final, one of the most challenging weeks I've ever had with Dublin, because you invest so much emotion into these games that you're flat. If I was asked to play a game tomorrow or the next day, I couldn't. I'm just not up to speed. And then, see, you have two things going on. Like, you've just finished an All-Ireland final, but you're also 10 days away from an All-Ireland final, and you're trying to square those circles, and it was really difficult. So I think Jim did a really good job. He just came in relaxed. And when I say that you legislate for everything but not a replay, Jim legislated for a replay, and that's the kind of man he is. There's no surprises with him, and he kind of let us all go through our own process, and some lads were on the money straight away, majorly focused. I myself and some other lads would have probably taken a couple of days, but we trusted each other that once we got to the starting line today or yesterday, we'd be in the right place.
For more exclusive content, go to patreon.com/OurGame.